Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Daz.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
And I'm Office Bloke Max.
Here we are, three of us together, the Office Blokes. Welcome.
Oh, yeah.
We've done this channel a couple of times, and we've done something very similar to this, the greatest songwriting theft of all time.
Right.
Where we did Richard Ashcroft. Was it Drugs Don't Work?
Bittersweet Symphony.
Bittersweet Symphony.
Yeah.
So
I don't think Mike was here for that.
No,
I
he
was because I don't ring a bell.
It's great the way he sort of like told a story about how it came about, and I kind of remember Richard Ashcroft not wanting to sing it. He didn't do any concerts, and I think he instructed radio stations not to play it.
Yeah, it wasn't about it wasn't about the money. He wanted his song back.
Yeah, because it had a little sort of like segment, and the guy who took it was kind of like a little bit of a
shark.
Yeah, a bit of a shark.
It was the agent of Mick Jagger and who's the other guy in the Rolling Stones?
Rolling Stones, Keith Richards.
What, so you're getting some royalties out of it?
He got all the royalties. It won an award.
Small sample.
Really?
Yeah.
What was it? It was like it got nominated for a Grammy under Mick Jagger's name, and he had nothing to do with making Bittersweet Symphony just because of the sample.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
which was also a sample.
This is a different one. This is with Robbie Williams. So, but it's I like Robbie Williams.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see what this. I don't know which song it's.
The greatest songwriting
theft
of all time, right? Okay.
Angels, yeah. So let's go.
It's probably his biggest one, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I'm guessing still.
Yeah, let's go.
This might be the greatest songwriting theft of all time. The song was voted the best British song of the past 25 years, but it was stolen.
Didn't know that.
At least that's what this amateur Irish musician claims. Not only does he have evidence, but he has a heartbreaking story to go with it.
The earliest version of Angels.
It's 1995, and after starting his career with the boy band Take That, Robbie Williams made clear that he wanted a solo career of his own. One aspect of Take That, however, was unlike many other boy bands, they actually wrote their own songs. Gary Barlow, who would later also have a solo career, was responsible for writing the majority of their hit songs. And so, starting out on his own, Robbie would need to find another songwriter.
But you are having problems releasing your single, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell us why or not? Because I know why, but...
Because I haven't recorded anything.
No, but also...
No, I'm joking.
The trouble was that not only did Robbie not play any instruments, part of the reason that led him to leaving Take That was at this time he was partying quite heavily.
And I turn up every day and I'm just smashed.
I'm gonna get some booze. Obsession. Oh, don't.
Having left Take That, he found himself one day on a family trip to Ireland. It was a Saturday afternoon. Robbie was drinking in an Irish pub when he met amateur Irish musician Ray Heffernan.
I was back in Dublin after getting sacked. My girlfriend dumped me and we had lost this child, so I was back in Dublin gonna go and starting again.
The two of them had quite a lot in common. Ray had just gone through a difficult time, his pregnant girlfriend lost their baby, and actually they'd just broken up. He was also an amateur songwriter, but didn't have much of a musical career. Which suited Robbie because he was a huge star with Take That, about to start his own solo career, but wasn't much of a songwriter.
Very naturally we kind of found each other and started drinking heavily together and kind of formed this bond.
After a night of heavy drinking, they leave the pub.
I've watched the. Have you watched the Robbie Williams documentary series?
No, I don't think I have. No.
I don't think it mentions this in it.
Really?
Right.
Not at all.
I've seen it. I just don't think it mentions it in it.
Probably because of the controversy.
Yeah.
To go and record some songs together, one of which is Angels. It's just the initial idea, not the fully worked out song that we all know, but the idea is clearly there.
This is the earliest version of Angels, sung by Robbie Williams and myself at 6 a.m. in the morning, very, very drunk.
But who wrote the original song? This is where things get interesting, because they both claim that they wrote the song before they even met each other.
How Angels came about was I was in my sister's back garden. So I sat down, I was like, right, I sit and wait. Does an angel contemplate my fate? And, it took me an hour to write a couple of verses.
Ray, however, offers a very different story.
My pregnant girlfriend had a miscarriage. I was starting to write a song about an angel, or that kind of themed song, based on the conversation with my mother about how I won't have a baby to love, but I love an angel instead.
We then know that they both meet each other in Ireland and for a short time become quite close, and during this time they record this demo version of Angels. Ray seemed to think that they had formed this songwriting partnership and that they would go on to work together. For Robbie, however, it's just a short trip to Ireland and there's nothing more to it, and so he returns home back to England.
We spoke on the phone a couple of times after that, and we were then to meet in London at some stage in January.
But this actually doesn't happen. Robbie returns back to his hometown of Stoke-on-Trent and they lose contact. That is until Ray suddenly appears uninvited.
And there was a knock at the door. So I said, Raymond, what are you doing? I thought you'd be pleased to see me. And I'm like, well, mate, you can't stay here. It's just weird that you...
That's a bit of a strange reaction to seeing someone
who's
knocked at your door. You know, you've not seen someone, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
It's kind of a bit of a guilty sort of like response, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
100%.
Turning up out the blue. And I gave him a couple of £100 and said, go get yourself a bed and breakfast and go back to Ireland.
And that was the first time
Why not? Let's chat tomorrow.
I really
We'll see it.
realised kind of, okay, the mood has changed here. So I left.
At this point, neither of them know that it's going to go on to become this massive hit. Ray actually admits that at this point it was just another song in a bag of songs. But either way, it was either initially Ray's song and Robbie stole the idea from him, or it was Robbie's song and Ray at best misunderstood what was happening, or at worst was trying to steal millions of pounds from the song's publishing.
He had given an interview to some journalist in Ireland saying that he was writing songs with an Irish songwriter, and he had mentioned actually that we had written a song together called Angels Instead. You know, it's the first time I remember reading the title of the song was from his interview, you know? So there was still this kind of, okay, well, what's going on?
Back on his own, Robbie meets professional songwriter Guy Chambers.
Yeah.
He and Guy would go on to work together for a number of years and write and produce many of Robbie's biggest songs. It's only when Guy starts working on the song does it go from this initial idea into the finished song that we all know.
He walked through in the room and he sang me the opening lines just on his own without any instrument, just it was in his head. And I went, oh wow, that's good. Once we got to the end of the verse, he didn't know where to go from then on, and then I suggested going to the chorus.
Word soon reaches Ray that the song is going to appear on Robbie's debut album, Life Through a Lens. And so, Ray's lawyer gets in touch with Robbie.
Then I get a letter from a lawyer in Ireland, and my client, Mr. Ray Heffernan, has not only wrote Angels, but he's also written All Before I Die.
And I was like, no, not that one. Some song about angels or an angel instead. And his management said, yeah, there's a song on the album called Angels. But Robbie says that it has radically changed since the recorded version you have in Dublin.
It was released as the fourth single from the album. South of the Border, the third single, was such a flop that many consider Robbie's career to be over. So it was a bit of a miracle that Angels became the song that it did. The other unfortunate thing is that there's no evidence to actually prove who wrote the original song. They have this early demo version, but either of them could have written it, and so they end up with this he said situation, and if it goes to court, it's just a case of who believes who. The case is settled out of court, and Robbie pays Ray £7,500.
And that money went a long way to paying for the residential care that I was currently receiving in the Rutland Centre Rehabilitation Clinic.
Had the song been another flop like the previous single, £7,500 might have been a fair deal, especially because Ray was told that it was radically different from the version they'd recorded together.
And then the first time I heard the song was when I went into town and bought the album. When I heard the opening line, like, oh, you know.
Naturally then, if Ray's story is true, then not only is it unjust, but he's lost out on millions of pounds. And he does still claim that it's true. In a video uploaded just a few years ago, he maintains his side of the story. But there's no way of proving this. Robbie claims that this is just a myth, and Ray's story is made up. And even if there is some truth to Ray's story, he only had the very beginning of the song. It wasn't as if he wrote the whole thing. There are, however, some positives to take away. First of all, they both agree that Guy Chambers helped to take the initial idea and make it into a hit, so credit to him. Secondly, Robbie comes across really well in this interview, and he actually comments that Ray's other songs are actually quite good.
Is he actually a good songwriter?
Yeah, he's a good songwriter.
Is he?
So go check them out along with his original version of Angels. Thanks so much for watching. If you made it this far, please take a moment to subscribe.
Yeah, good channel.
Yeah,
interesting.
I like that when people tell stories like that.
Yeah,
It's well sort of told as well.
Yeah.
He's a decent
Yeah,
narrator.
I don't remember him mentioning it in the documentary, in the docu-series that he did. He may have done. I just don't remember it being there.
I think that $7.5 might be a case of
that's how much
if you take this, then it's and maybe Robbie's people are saying it'd be a good deal, because otherwise pay him now.
Yeah.
Draw a line under it, and then that's the end of it. But
it probably would have cost that to go to court. You know,
how much net did he
if he
actually
loses it, then it's it's
millions.
huge. It's a huge loss.
Yeah. But it just depends who you believe on that one, I suppose.
That's what it is.
When all said and done, they definitely did a demo together, and it does sound exactly the same type of, same lyric and the same melody at the start of it.
But was it just that one or two lines that they did?
Does that constitute?
The whole song.
You sort of, but then you do develop from there, don't you? From the initial, it's like getting a riff from just any tune. You get a riff, then you sort of like develop your song around it, sort of thing.
Well, you get a percentage, don't you? Even if you contributed one line,
you get a percentage. That's how Gautier went that way. Didn't he?
Exactly.
Yeah, if you get your name on the credits, then you get like a percentage of it.
Not $7,000. How much do you reckon that's worth now in terms of?
Well, it would be millions.
Because that
millions,
millions.
multi-millions.
Yeah,
it's good though, right? It's interesting.
It's
story.
very interesting. Yeah,
because you never know what's behind.
Just shows it, don't you? You just never know all these songs written by whoever. Then someone comes out and says, "Well, actually, I wrote it." It's not really.
It's like Dr. Evil when I wrote that. God was one of us, wasn't it? Remember it? Yeah. Brilliant. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
Cheers.
Cheers.